và thương, hiểu và thương. Anh em ta từ bốn phương trời, chị em ta từ khắp năm châu, không phân biệt màu da tôn giáo, cùng về đây say đắm yêu thương. Hiểu và thương, hiểu và thương, có hiểu mới có thương, có thương, có thương, có thương. Hiểu càng sâu, thương càng rộng, hiểu càng rộng, thương càng sâu. Hiểu sâu, thương lớn, hiểu và thương, hiểu và thương. We are brother and sister. We are from everywhere in the world, and we come here to build the love. Anh em ta từ bốn phương trời, chị em ta từ khắp năm châu, không phân biệt màu da tôn giáo, cùng về đây say đắm yêu thương. Hiểu và thương, hiểu và thương, có hiểu mới có thương, có thương, có thương, có thương. Hiểu càng sâu, thương càng rộng, hiểu càng rộng, thương càng sâu. Hiểu sâu, thương lớn, hiểu và thương, 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 hiểu và thương. Thank you.
Check, check. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being with us this beautiful morning. Whether you're here in person or joining us via live stream, we hope that being here, being part of this gathering, you find inspiration, you find common ground, and leave here being uplifted. Ready to return to our divided world and show your love and care with all those you encounter. My name is Hassan Khalil. I'm honored to be with you all this morning on behalf of the Yazidi community. I want to thank our mayor, who serves as the honorary chair for this event. A heartfelt thank you to our wonderful committee, to our generous sponsors, and to each and every one of you for being with us today. Please do continue to eat as the program goes on. Our theme for this morning is love, just love. Justice brings us together, and love is the answer. When I was a little boy, my family, my grandmother, and I were stranded on Mount Sinjar, trying to find a safe way to our refugee camps. It was a time of fear and uncertainty. Yet every morning at sunrise, my grandmother would face the sun and stand quietly in prayer. One morning I asked her, "Grandma, why are you praying to the sun?" She smiled and said, quote, "I'm not praying to the sun, I'm praying through the sun. For thousands of years, the Yazidi people have survived many genocides. Our temples were destroyed, our villages were burned, and our homes were taken away from us. But this mountain has always protected us. It was the only safe place where we could stay. Nature became our guide for hope, and every time the sun rises is a reminder that even after a darkest night, there's a new beginning." That's why we face the sun, because every sunrise brings hope, a new day, a new path forward. I also asked her, "Grandma, what are the morning prayers?" She replied, quote, "You can pray about anything, whatever is in your mind and in your heart." So this morning, the same spirit of hope, love, and freedom, I would like to invite all of us, no matter your faith or your tradition, to take a moment and pause. Please close your eyes. I invite you now to join me in a 30-second silence prayer or reflection. Pray for whatever is in your heart today, for healing, for peace, for justice, for love. Amen. Thank you. Allow me to also share another quote with you from a Persian poet named Hafiz. He wrote, quote, "Every child has known God, not a God of names, not a God of don'ts, not a God who ever does anything weird, but a God who only knows 4 words and keep repeating them, saying, 'Come dance with me. Come dance.' This morning I say to you, come and dance, come and sing, come and listen, and come and love." At this special moment, it's my honor to invite a very special person who represents these values of justice, love, and community, our Mayor, Lirian Gaylor Bear. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hassan, and thank you for sharing this story of you and your grandmother facing the rising sun. That's going to stay with me for a long time to come. Thank you. And Carla, thank you. We have stood together many times, and I'm so grateful for your presence here today, making this event more accessible to everyone. And good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 41st annual Interfaith Prayer Breakfast. I'm so delighted to see your faces, to be with you this morning, and to celebrate all that is good here in Lincoln, Nebraska. I always look forward to this event and the very meaningful messages of compassion and grace and fellowship that you offer each other and to our community. We are truly one Lincoln, and I think this event highlights and demonstrates that. The opportunity afforded us this morning is possible thank you to many dedicated, devoted, and committed, talented community members. My heartfelt thanks go to the members of the all-volunteer Mayor's Interfaith Prayer Breakfast Committee, led by Chair Darcy Blosser. Let's give them a round of applause. As well as the many generous sponsors who are named in the program. We couldn't do this without them, and we're so grateful to them. And I'd also like to recognize another group whose dedication and to public service makes our state and our city such a better place to call home. Thank you to Lieutenant Governor Joe Kelly, who is with us this morning. Appreciate his presence. As well as State Senator Myron Dorn. Thank you for joining us this morning and for your work. And to Lincoln City Council Chair Sandra Washington, and to Council members Benny Shobe and Tom Beckius, and to Lancaster County Commissioner Krista Yoakum, who is here. I see her in the back, and to former council member who is with us, Carl Eskridge. Thank you for your leadership and your commitment. We're so pleased to be with you this morning. As we gather here in unity this morning, let us recognize the long-standing contribution of our faith communities, the hope, the comfort, the guidance, and the sense of belonging that you provide serve as both a steady anchor for everyone in our community and as a compass for so many Lincolnites. Across faith traditions, in churches and temples, in mosques and synagogues, in shrines and powwows, that compass very often points in the same direction, the direction of love. We're here this morning to reflect on love, on the role of love in shaping a more just, safe, fair, and equitable world, on the role of faith in not only yearning for that world, but for also loving it into existence. To inspire our shared journey toward that more loving world, we are so fortunate to have with us here this morning our illustrious keynote speaker, the Reverend Dr. Jackie Lewis. Thank you, Dr. Lewis, for joining us this morning. Fun fact, she's a Nebraska native, born in Omaha. I just learned that today. So welcome home, Dr. Lewis. We're so happy you're here in Lincoln to share your story and your wisdom and your guidance and your appeal to each one of us to love fiercely. In her book, Fierce Love, Dr. Lewis writes that fierce love is required of us because, quote, someone, as an old black spiritual says, might be down in the valley trying to get home, and you can love them all the way home, unquote. Here in Lincoln, we know something about loving people all the way home, don't we? We see that virtue expressed every day in the work of our faith communities who work to forgive the medical debts of our neighbors. Yes, I'm looking back at you, JC and Jim, who work to connect individuals to other needed resources. We see that virtue guide our amazing nonprofit organizations who help welcome immigrants and refugees to their new home in Lincoln by offering English lessons and life skills. We see that virtue expressed by our local businesses that pour their love for Lincoln into our arenas and our parks and our ball fields that they generously sponsor and that are so cherished by our families and children here in Lincoln. And we see that virtue in our people. We are a city of neighbors helping neighbors, especially those in need of a warm meal or companionship. Love is a principle that guides the work of our city team as well. One of my administration's core values is loving kindness, and that reflects our commitment to serving with compassion towards ourselves and others, recognizing that each and every one of us is connected. We understand that everyone faces challenges. Some of those are visible, some are less visible. And so we work to deliver city services by treating community members with warmth and genuine compassion and concern, and concern for their happiness and well-being. We manifest loving kindness in many ways. One of the most powerful ways is our work to love our community members all the way home in the truest sense of that phrase. We last fall broke ground on this first city-owned permanent supportive housing where we are building 24 apartments and partnering with Centerpoint to offer supportive wraparound services to help folks experiencing chronic homelessness get off the street and back on their feet. And as all of us in Lincoln work to love our community members all the way home, building a more just, safe, and equitable world, let's continue to do so with hearts full of fierce love. Thank you all for being here this morning. This gathering is truly an inspiration.
Good morning, everybody. Oh, it's so lovely to see you all here. What a beautiful, beautiful sight, this collection, this community of cultures and celebrating love and unity. I am Nicole Brachet. I am the children's pastor at the College View SDA Church. And then we have Marcus, who is our worship pastor, Marcus Acosta. And I'd like to introduce you to our Children's Creative Arts Ministry. As the comments were shared this morning, I was touched by the idea of celebrating culture. And one of the things that I love is that we get to express the culture of childhood and step into the faith of a child. And so I invite you all to enjoy and listen to our children share with you this morning their faith, an expression of their love and how they see unity as they share with you love for all. You'll see our choir, but we also have, he'll be kind of tucked away in the back, so I want to let you know now, we also have one of our children who will be on the drums here as well. So I invite you to listen and enjoy.
Good morning. I'm the shortest Sudanese that you could find. That's why they put this one down. If you're a person that know all Sudanese, they're very tall people, but not this one. I'm honored to be here this morning. My message today will be from Corinthians 16, verse 14. Lada tidial rei noka cherika mengoriane. In English, it say, "Let all that you do be done in love." Love is like a spice that brings everything to life. When you do everything with love, it's like cooking a soup with all the right ingredients in it, and everybody enjoy it. Let all that you do be done in love. Let love be the secret ingredients in your daily life. Because everywhere you go, you might be smiling, smile with love. You opening a door, open it with love. I came to United States in 2004. But I came to Lincoln in 2005. And when I came here as a refugee, I was shown love and welcome in this community. Because of that, today, I am where I am because people support me and show me love. Show love to your neighbors. Start from home. You may see little things that you do, they not matter. But they do matter because when you do little things, it grow to a bigger thing. I just moved to a new neighbors, and I'm like, these people are not lovely. They're not from Lincoln, because I am not being welcome. I used to that welcoming, hi, and all that. And then 1 week later, I keep receiving gift at my door. People are welcoming me. I'm like, oh, I was wrong, because Lincoln is very lovely. When I came here, I didn't have anything. I didn't speak English, nothing. And I was in welfare, getting help, getting assistance with my children. But today, with the love and support from Lincoln people, I own a home that I can call. I am the one of those people who own home today just because of that love, because I feel welcome here. I'm not thinking about going back to my country to that war again because I feel love here. And Lincoln is welcoming. So whatever you do it with love because it affects people. Thank you.
Lower this some more. Thank you. I'm also short and I'm wearing heels. Good morning. My name's Jeanette Tran. I'm the assistant chapter leader for the Lingguang Buddhist Youth Group here in Lincoln. Thank you for the organizers for inviting me here today. It's an honor to share my faith and to share the Buddha's teachings on loving kindness. Today's readings come from the Metta Sutta, also known as the Sutra of Loving Kindness. This is what should be done by those who is skilled in goodness and who knows the path of peace. Let them be able and upright, straightforward and gentle in speech, humble and not conceited, contented and easily satisfied, unburdened with duties and frugal in their ways, peaceful and calm and wise and skillful, not proud or demanding in nature, wishing in gladness and in safety may all beings be at ease. Whatever living beings there may be, whether they're weak or strong, omitting none, the great or the mighty, medium, short, or small, the seen and the unseen, those born and to be born, those living near and far away, may all beings be at ease. Let none deceive another or despise any being in any state. Let none, through anger or ill will, wish harm upon another. So with boundless heart should one cherish all living beings, radiating kindness over the entire world, spreading upwards to the skies and downwards to the depths, outwards and unbounded, freed from hatred and ill will. Whether standing or walking, seated or lying down, free from the drowsiness, one should sustain this recollection. Thank you so much.
Didn't expect that. Good morning, everybody in attendance. My name is Meho Osmanovic, and I'm a representative of the Sabah Foundation, Masjid here in Lincoln, Nebraska. First and foremost, I would like to thank the mayor, the committee, the interpreter, everybody, all the sponsors that make this event happen. As we all know, Lincoln is a very diverse city, and we strive off of that. All the religions and cultures, it brings us together. And events like this, it allows us to have peaceful interfaith dialogue, and I hope for more in the future. Today, I would like to recite a verse from the Holy Quran, Surah Al-Hujurat, verse 13, where Allah, the Exalted, He says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الناس إنا خلقناكم من ذكر وأنثى وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا إن أكرمكم عند الله أتقاكم إن الله عليم خبير. In English, it is translated as, O mankind, indeed, we have created you from male and female and made you peoples and tribes that you may know one another. Indeed, the most noble of you in the sight of Allah is the most righteous of you. Indeed, Allah is all-knowing and all-aware. I hope that these events can really bring us together in a time when it is really needed to be together and have interfaith dialogue. Thank you very much, and have a good rest of the day.
I'm shocked too. Thank you. Good morning, everyone, and namaste. My name is Rukmini, and I'm representing Hindu community here through the India Association of Nebraska Lincoln. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to talk about this. So humanity has long divided itself along lines of gender, color, race, language, faith, and many more. Yet, there exists a higher force that transcends these boundaries, a force that teaches us the essence of spiritual human character. In Hindu philosophy, many followers view the various gods and goddesses not as separate deities, but as a different manifestation of a single divine force. Among them, Lord Krishna is revered as an embodiment of compassion, protection, and love. So in the spiritual teachings by Krishna called Bhagavad Gita, Krishna instructs the warrior prince Arjuna on the principles of duty, selfless action, and divine love. So one of the core teachings of the Gita is the vision of spiritual equality. So in the verse 5.18, Krishna says, a spiritually enlightened person sees all beings with equal vision, whether it is a learned human being, a cow, an elephant, a dog, or an outcast. So Krishna further states, Mamaivam so jiva loke, jiva bhuta sanatana, Mamaivam so jiva loke, jiva bhuta sanatana, which means all living beings in this world are his eternal fragmented parts. So the Supreme Lord show equal kindness to all, treating everybody as a friend and remaining within us as Paramatma or Super Soul. The Lord resides equally in both the saint and the outcast, undisturbed by bodily or social distractions. When we discard our superficial differences and recognize the divine presence within one another, we begin to truly love everyone. Compassion and love are the greatest forces we possess. Peace then just comes naturally. Peace is not through force or policy, but as an effortless byproduct of genuine love. When there is love, peace flourishes. He who has let go of hatred, who treats all beings with kindness and compassion, who's always serene, unmoved by pain or pleasure, free of I and mine, self-controlled, firm and patient, his whole world, mind focused on me, that is the person I love the most, says Krishna in Bhagavad Gita verse 12.13. This encapsulates the essence of unconditional love as a state of selfless devotion, compassion, and non-attachment. It describes a life where individuals act out of love for everyone, prioritizing the divine without seeking any personal gain. As the great saint in Hinduism, Radhanand Swami, he eloquently stated, we do not care for peace, we want love. True fulfillment in life does not lie in merely achieving a neutral state of peace, but experiencing the profound, transformative power of unconditional love. Even a child can understand and reflect this principle. In a recent interview with Lincoln Public School, my son Madhav shared a simple but powerful insight. He said, when you treat others with respect and love, they will return that 101%. Thank you, and God bless everyone.
Good morning, everybody, and shalom and ahava, peace and love for everybody. There is, in the very first part of the Bible, what we in Judaism call Torah, the 5 books of Moses, and in the very center of the Torah lies the book of Leviticus, and in the very center of the book of Leviticus is chapter 19. And in chapter 19, a section that we call in Hebrew Kedoshim, we learn as to how to try to imitate God's ways in being holy, because God is holy. And as such, we learn some of the most beautiful ethical teachings that the Torah has to offer. Amongst those, what rabbis have called the biggest rule of the Torah, which is Be'afta le'reacha kamocha, and you shall love your neighbor as yourself. It's not just a general type of teaching. One of our rabbis of old that lived in the 1st century CE said that is indeed the biggest rule of the Torah. But another rabbi who lived about 200 years before him by the name of Hillel said how to interpret that. And he taught, do not do unto others what is hateful to you. The rest is commentary. Now go and study. So Indeed, in order to practice love, we need to learn how to love, and we need to extend those words of love and actions of love to all those who surround us. Teaching is important, but teaching by example is even more important as well. So as we extend those teachings from within the Torah, as we reach out to one another, as we embrace each other, as we all realize that indeed we are all the descendants of Adam and Eve, if we were to follow and embrace the teachings of the book of Genesis, we will realize that we all descend from that very first couple, regardless of color, regardless of gender, regardless of religion, regardless of nationality or orientation. Each and every one of us is the brother and the sister of someone else. Each and every one of us is deserving of the same love that we want for ourselves as we pass it on to others. I am not a refugee, but in many ways all Jewish people are refugees in many different ways, and others are too. But I am somebody that has come to enjoy the love of the city of Lincoln. I am a Latino Jew of Ukrainian roots, of Middle Eastern roots, that not only speaks Spanish, but also manages in many other languages too. And I am thrilled that I have been able, together with all of you, to share the love, to sense the love, and regardless of the formulas and the doctrines that we receive in our own traditions, whether we are believers or perhaps doubters, we are in many ways coming together to share in brotherhood and sisterhood and in respect for one another, something that would lead us indeed to love and actions of love. So again, friends, let us all love our neighbors as we love ourselves. But above all, let us be truthful and kind as to how we want to be treated, because that is the way that we should treat others as well. Thank you all, and shalom, peace, and ahava, which is the Hebrew word for love, for each and every one of you. Amen.
Thank you so much to our wonderful readers. Thank you to our mayor for being our honorary chair and for bringing remarks from the city to us. It is with great pleasure that I have the honor to introduce our speaker. About a year ago at this time, in a women's group, we were looking for a study for fall through spring of this year, and stumbled across a book called Fierce Love by the Reverend Dr. Jackie Lewis. We have so enjoyed that book, and in fact, I introduced that book to another group, and we also went through that book together. And I would recommend it if that is your desire, to have a book that you can study and discuss. When we picked up Jackie at the airport yesterday, something in the back of my husband's mind was just kind of nudging him that we've met Jackie before. And in fact, we have. Back in 2011, Jim and I attended an urban ministries conference in Washington, D.C., which was an awesome event, and Jackie was one of the keynote speakers. But of course, being a keynote speaker, we didn't intermingle a lot, and so we didn't have an opportunity to visit. But we did yesterday as we picked her up at the airport. And it is my great pleasure to introduce to you and welcome Reverend Dr. Jackie Lewis to Lincoln and to share her message with us. Thank you, Jackie.
Is that good? Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'm so glad to be home, back in Nebraska. First of all, just thank you so much, Darcy, and thank you so much to this incredible committee for inviting me. Thank you, Mayor, for the honor of having this keynote responsibility. And thank you all for every single thing you do every day to make this world a better place, to make your communities a safer place, to make America a more loving and just place. You know what you do, particularly from your place in the foxhole or in the neighborhood. And I'm just grateful to you. And I'd like to give you a hand for being you. So, I'm Jackie. My pronouns are she, her, hers. And I'm a Christian who believes there's more than one path to God. So I would say I'm a universalist Christian. And some might say that dilutes my Christianity, but I think because Jesus is a Jew, that actually increases my Christianity. What do you think about that? Yeah? I'm going to just tell you what I'm going to talk about, and thank you so much, Amazing One, for your interpretive work. Appreciate you. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to do it, and then I'm going to tell you I did it, because then all the J's in the room will track, right? All the Myers-Briggs J's will track. I'm going to talk about Ubuntu and just love. Do you know Ubuntu? Any of you know? Okay. I'll explain it as I go. And I'm talking about just love, though my book is Fierce Love, because A, that's your theme, and 2, I'm really drawn into this quote. I'm going to frame my talk with this quote from Dr. King. One of the greatest problems of history is that the concepts of love and power are usually contrasted as polar opposites. Love is identified with a resignation of power, and power with a denial of love, right? Love, a resignation of power, and power with a denial of love. Hard to see. Put the mic right there. What is needed is a realization that power without love is reckless and abusive. And that love without power is sentimental and anemic. Power at its best is love implementing the demands of justice. Yeah. Justice at its best is love correcting everything that stands against love. That's so smart, I wish I had said that. But I want to feel smart enough to find that and quote it. You've heard Cornel West maybe paraphrase that. He says, justice is what love looks like lived out in public. But Dr. King says, justice at its best is love correcting everything that stands against love. I think it's fair to say that we are living in hot mess times. That's a theological expression. Putting my PhD to use, right? I mean, this is a contentious, cranky, angry, vitriolic, fearful time. One could say America's been like this for a long time. But there's a heightened sense, isn't there, in the nation and around the globe of us versus them, of who's in and who's out, of who deserves justice and who doesn't, of who has power and who doesn't, of what power looks like and what it doesn't, and this eruption, if you will, of worldviews. This clash of worldviews, or this struggle between which story is going to be our story and which one is not. That's what we're talking about. And we who are people of faith in our traditions, faith in our gods, faith in our deities, faith in love, understand that what we see isn't loving. What we see isn't loving. And if we see it's not loving, then it's also not just. And if it's not just, then it's not about our faith. We can agree on that, yes? Amen, I mean, amen, right? So I want to say that we're having an identity crisis. Not just in America, around the globe, but let's be particular to our neighborhood. We're having an identity crisis. Who shall we be? Are we the land of the free? Are we the home of the brave? Are we the arbiters of a dream that we might call American? Are we the bearers of a vision in which God, Allah, G space D, whatever is the kind of divine force that we lean into, that would be sort of creating a world, a nation that represents the values of love and justice. We can agree that what we're looking at is not that, and that the crisis of who we will be is being fought on every level, in government, in society, in education, in museums, for God's sake, on websites. Let's erase the evidence of our success in building a just society. And let's disrupt it, let's dismantle it, and let's start over. And as a Christian, I'll say, sadly, mostly in the name of Jesus. In other words, the Buddhists aren't dismantling the society, right? That's not what's happening. What's happening in this nation is a kind of Christianity that isn't about Jesus at all. I'm a professional Christian, so I'm picking on my people. Under the guise of a separation of church and state, some parts of Christian has made this nation unbearable for most of us. I confess that. Let the church say amen. Let the people in the room say, yeah. Yeah, we see that. So what are we going to do about that? How do we answer the question of who are we going to be? We answer that question now, not just Christians, but many of us answer the question of who will be untethered from our deepest spiritual wisdom. Our heads are working, not our hearts. Our heads are working, not our chakra, not our gut, not our innermost sense of what it is that is the next best thing to do. And why is that? Because the context is so fraught. The context is so difficult. It sends humans, which we all are, running back, shrinking back to the places where we feel safe. And often that's to the people that are just like us. Are you with me? We seek our tribe when we're afraid. We regress when we're afraid. We shrink back from what we hope for, what we yearn for, which is the beauty and diversity of kind of a rainbow nation. When we're afraid, when we feel wounded, when we feel hurt, when we feel unclear, when we feel uncertain, we pull in and we are smaller in the circle of people we relate to. Am I making sense? And we lose touch of what I'm going to call our inextricable connection one to the other. In other words, we lose track of Ubuntu, which is this incredibly beautiful, ancient cultural, from Africa, philosophy. Ubuntu means Umuntu, Ngubuntu, Ngabantu. I memorized that for you so I could impress you this morning. Muntu and Gabuntu and Gabantu is Zulu, and in all the sub-Saharan African countries, in various dialects, it means a human is a human through other humans. A human is a human through other humans. In other words, I am actually who I am because you are who you are. We are each other's keepers. I can't fully be who I am unless you are fully who you are, is the way Dr. King says it. The Zulu people say, when they see one another, they say, Sawubona. Can you try that with me? Sawubona. Which means, I see you. Thank you. I knew I was going to need this water. I'm allergic, but I'm not allergic to Lincoln. I see you. Is what the Sawubona means. I see you. And the response is Sinkona with a click, which I can't do. And that means I exist. Do you feel where I'm going? You don't exist in sub-Saharan African culture unless your neighbor sees you into existence. I am because you see me. I become because you see me. I am fully human because you are fully human with me. Now, let me just shock you with this piece of data. Everyone in this room is African American. Come on. No matter our faith tradition, we know human beings begin in the cradle of civilization, and that's in Northern Africa. So say, I am African American. I am African American, which means you get to claim Sawubona Sinkona. You get to claim Ubuntu as your philosophy. It's underneath all of our world's major religions. All of the world's major religions have this, you complete me. I am who I am because you are who you are. Your thriving and my thriving are interconnected. Love your neighbor as yourself, right? Judaism has love your neighbor as yourself once, right? But you shall love the stranger, or because you were once a stranger in the strange land, 36, 37 times. Christianity has love your neighbor as yourself. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. My Islamic brothers and sisters say, don't withhold from anyone that which you need for yourself. The Sikh tradition says, don't do anything to break anyone's heart. Oh, that is a really high bar. What I'm saying is this love neighbor, love self thing is ubiquitous. And it makes me think that anthropologically, or let's say spiritually, undergirding this religiousness, our faith traditions, is the humanness of us coming out of the cave, which, we did, and looking around on the plain, which it was, and say, oh my goodness, I can't function unless someone cooks. Who's going to cook? Oh, we don't have anything to cook. Who's going to go get the thing to cook? Who's going to plant? Who's going to harvest? Who's going to raise the kids? The earliest humans knew they needed each other to survive, and we know it as well. When we're afraid, we retract. When we're afraid, we regress. When we're afraid, we pull back, and these are scary times, and the pulling back becomes not only a regression, it becomes aggression. And suddenly, it's whose God is better than whose God. Whose tradition is better than whose tradition. Who's got the real truth with a capital T, as opposed to all of us are human on the planet searching for the truth. All of us inherit our traditions, the capital T ones and the little ones, from the family systems or our neighborhoods. Like nobody woke up and went, I think I shall be, yes, I shall be a Christian and I shall be a Southern Baptist one. Yes, that is how I shall live my life. No, we're born into a family. We're born into a neighborhood. We're born into a community. We inherit these traditions. We inherit the culture of our religions. And we inherit them from the people who were seeking a relationship with the holy other or the holy inside. And we keep excavating them, and we keep expositing them, and we keep preaching them, and we keep writing about them. And the truth that's in them, though different, though expressed differently, is a singular truth. which is that we are human on the planet together, and we cannot make it without each other. Amen? If we, in the spirit of Ubuntu, understand that we are in a web of humanity, so that when someone's hungry, my stomach growls. When someone is not having clean water in a foreign land or in Michigan, I'm parched. When someone isn't safe, then I'm feeling anxious. When someone doesn't have peace, I feel agitated at the signs of war. Do you understand what I mean? This is the kind of love that is deeply ensconced in each of our faith traditions, but also surpasses each of our faith traditions, because it's at the root of each of our faith traditions. At the root is this kind of human connection love. Ubuntu is how Nelson Mandela came to understand the humanity of his Afrikaner oppressors. That's magical, to come to understand the humanity of someone who has imprisoned you and who is harassing you. So I think I've made a case that love of neighbor and love of self is at the bedrock of each of our religions, because it's at the bedrock of humanity. It just is who we are. And when we forget it, we act out. But when we remember it, we do the work of building homes for people who need them. We do the work of peacemaking. We do the work of irrigating each other's crops. We do the work of caring for each other's children. We do the work of passing laws and policies to make sure that everybody has enough. We do the work of sharing each other's stories and finding inside each other's stories our own stories. We become human together when we remember that love is the basis of our DNA. And I want to then just talk a little bit about the first piece of that love neighbor, love self formula. In our tradition, in the Christian tradition, love your neighbor as yourself, when written in the Greek, has a connecting word as os, O-S, os is the connecting word. And it means love neighbor and love self are exactly the same weight. Exactly the same weight. Now, I've been to lots of different religious schools, and I have lots of little initials behind my name. But I do not believe I ever took a class that said, how do you love yourself? Did you? Have you? Have you, who have in your tradition a way of thinking love neighbor, love self, love neighbor, love self? How often do we focus on what it means to love ourselves? Can I take you with me on a little journey? Just a little one, real quick. Our tradition has a story of a Samaritan who teaches what it means to love neighbor, right? There's a man on the road, he's been hurt, he's been killed, and lots of people walk by and no one helps him, but a Samaritan walks by and helps him, and Jesus tells this story to say, see this guy, this outsider who helped the neighbor? That's what love looks like. Again, my tradition doesn't have a story that says this is what love yourself looks like. So how do we love ourselves? In other words, can we love our neighbor if we don't love ourselves? I'm asking it as a question, but I'm also trying to suggest an answer. I want to go back to the top of the talk about how imploding, exploding, violent, dangerous, fearful our communities are because the world's on fire with dissension. Imagine the people at the top of the food chain creating the dissension. Just let's start with President Trump. Now, I'm not picking on Republicans. My father was a Republican. I'm saying let's just look at Trump. Let's look at the story his niece tells about him in a psych book. She's a psychoanalyst. This is a little boy who grows up without a mother who's well. Do you know this? He grows up with a father who's absent and a mother who's not well. He doesn't have parenting. He doesn't have a mother who's there to love him. He doesn't have a father who's there to love him. So Skip, I'm a billionaire, Skip, I'm whatever else you think he is, and just think about a little boy who doesn't get taught that he's lovable or doesn't learn to love himself. Can you imagine that with me? Can you nod at that? You know these people. It's not just Trump, right? You know the people who are hurt, who are wounded, who are disassociated from their better self, who have a low self-esteem. Will you nod that you get what I'm talking about? They're like frightened, they're brittle, they look grandiose, but they're not really. They're actually insecure, and they're really timid, but they bravado, and I must and I can, but in fact, inside is a little person who doesn't feel loved at all. I bet you, if we could put a lot of our leaders on a couch, how many therapists in the room? And get down into their psyche, their soul, we'd find out about a brokenness inside that causes the fear that we started the talk with, that causes the need for power in the way we know we don't want, which causes the need for fake certainty, which causes brittleness, which says the only way you can be in my tribe is this set of beliefs and this set of philosophies and this way to be in the world. Otherwise, you're not good enough. Did you go on that journey with me? Can I do it one more time, slower? Inside a broken heart, inside a person who doesn't feel belonging, acceptance, home, is the opportunity for fear, bravado, fake certainty, brittleness, bigotry, blinders, is my way or the highway. And there's no room for love of neighbor because you don't love yourself. I think that's a lot of what's at work in our culture. And I wonder if you nod, if you feel resonance with that. So what do we do about that? It's a circle. Because to create the conditions for little Trump and little Bob and little Nancy and to feel loved and connected and belonging, we have to do what? We have to create a society based in love and justice. Because if we have a society based in love and justice, little Trump has an auntie who's loving him when the mother is sick. You feel me? Little Bob has a cousin or a neighborhood or community or children's program where they're feeling supported and cared for. Little John, who has no food on the table, actually has resources that come from outside his family so that his stomach isn't hungry at school, so he doesn't feel dissed at school, so he doesn't feel disenfranchised at school or bullied at school. He feels loved and cherished at school and has the foundation to be a human on the planet that knows that they have value. Therefore, he values other humans. I think it's that simple. That there's a starting place in Ubuntu. I don't get to feel comfortable that Johnny doesn't have breakfast before Johnny goes to school. So I create the conditions for Johnny to have breakfast before he goes to school. And I've dismantled all of the possibilities that a part of our culture would want for Johnny. He's in the prison industrial complex. They're building a prison because they know he's going to flunk out of school, right? They're expecting him to be criminal. Can you see what I mean? This is what it is for us to be people of faith and tradition and love and heart. Is we see every child as belonging to us, every thirsty person as someone whose thirst we can alleviate, every homeless person as a person who can have shelter. Everybody can have enough because we have enough. We have enough. It's not rocket science. We just have to decide that it is ethical and moral and just and loving to live as though your fate is mine. Your parents' health care is my concern. Your child's college debt belongs to me. The safety in your city streets are my concern. Then we move together and build justice and love, liberty and justice and love for all. Can we do this? Heck yeah, we can do this. Of course we can do this. We know how to do this. We know when we decide to stand for this, someone's going to think we've lost our minds. Because our culture has quite successfully taught us individuality and ruggedness and, leave home and get your own space and bye. But we can rewind that because we know deep inside what's the better path. Just love. Just love is the power we have to fix our broken society and to heal our own souls and to love ourselves and our neighbors in exactly the same way. Thank you.
Wow. Are we ready to go out and do exactly what Jackie has shared with us? To love our neighbor, even those with whom we are so uncomfortable or who have possibly even hurt us. Are we willing to open our hearts to love? Thank you, Jackie. It's wonderful. If you would like an opportunity to visit more with Jackie, she's going to be here. Francie and Finch has a book table back here if you would like to purchase her book. It's available. She's going to sign books today, both here and then at 2 o'clock this afternoon at Francie and Finch. She's going to have a book talk and a book signing. In the meantime, at 11:30 at First Christian Church, which is at the corner of 16th and K Streets, you're invited to come, if you would like, to just visit. Jackie's just going to do a little short informal presentation. We're going to have conversation around the table. We have a few box lunches left if you want to purchase them or bring your own lunch or just come. But enjoy and spend more time, have an opportunity to spend a little bit more time with Jackie. I want to thank you on behalf of the committee for being here today. And I want to ask Rich Carlson, who is a chaplain with the Lincoln Police and Fire Department, to share a need with us.
Thank you very much. I'll just take a quick moment because I always think it's important that we have an opportunity to respond. I've been a part of this community for 45 years. I served as chaplain at Union College for 40 years, now Union Adventist University. And then I moved into the role of being pastor to the old people at our local church. But what I've done through that whole time is I've been a chaplain for the Lincoln Police and Fire Department. It's an amazing opportunity. It's a group of volunteers, laity and clergy that just serve our police and fire department at their time of need. We respond first responders to crisis so that they can do their job. We can help them. We offer initial counseling. We offer the plethora of opportunities that this community has for referrals and service. And I've thanked the mayor personally. I thank her again publicly for what this community has built to care for the people in need. So our job as chaplains is to help them move from the crisis that they're experiencing into hope and beyond that. So I want to offer you the opportunity to join us And our new rabbi here just joined us as in moments ago, or days ago, I should say, be honest. But this community is becoming diverse, and it's wonderful. But in that diversity, we need more diversity in the caregiving that we offer. So if you're interested, I would love to talk to you afterwards. You can also Google Lincoln Chaplaincy Corps and learn more about it. But it's a great opportunity to serve this community. All we do is ask for one day on call per month. Some days you don't do anything. Some days you do more. And then we'll train you, we'll mentor you, we'll walk you through the process of learning how to do it. So that's my calling, okay? I have a theology that explains why evil exists in this world. I have a theology that explains how the story ends. But I don't have a theology that explains on whom it strikes, when it strikes, or how it strikes. But I do have a theology that says, I've been called to care for the people when it strikes. Join me.
We will be singing a song in Ukrainian. It was written during the Soviet Union time when believing in God was a dangerous thing. You could be persecuted, imprisoned, and that's exactly what happened to the author of this song. So being in captivity, he cries out to God, telling him that his life is just a dark cloud, and he's losing his strength, feeling alone. But he knows that God is his hope, and he asks for peace in his heart. Ukraine is at war right now, and seeing death and destruction around us, we as well ask for peace in our heart, peace in our country. And Lincoln gave that peace for a lot of Ukrainians right now. We are very thankful, we are grateful for feeling welcomed. Thank you.
Долети моя чорна хмаронька, небо засмутилося. Чого же ти щодня тьмою криєшся, серцю не даєш спокою? Чом же ти щодня тьмою криєшся, серцю не даєш спокою? Тяжко так мені шлях земний йти, сил не вистачає. Боже, знаю я, поміч ти моя, з скорботі звертаюсь я. Не покинь, будь поруч, в тяжкий час молю, серцю мому дай спокою. Серцю мому дай спокою.
Thank you. Hello, good morning, everyone. So I'm going to introduce myself in my native language, and then I'll translate it in English for you. Yat-e ebeni she'e Wathina Porter Yinishne. My name is Wathina Porter, and I am the Executive Director of the Indian Center. I'm an enrolled member of the Navajo Nation and a descendant of the Omaha and Muskogee Creek Nation. My Navajo clans are Ho'ohlana do Nakai Dene'e, which translates into many Hogans born for the Mexican people. And my Omaha clan is Malihi Gahi, which translates into Earth people. It's an honor to be here with you all today. It's a humbling feeling. And I apologize for any shortcomings or if I overlook anyone. Thank you for asking me to say this prayer. It's truly an honor. So I ask if you close your eyes, bow your heads, or whatever is comfortable for you. Creator, we are thankful for another day of life you have given us. Creator, I ask that you protect Mother Earth, her land, her water, as our water is sacred, her animals, the four-winged, the two-legged, and all her living creatures. Please protect and guide our leaders in our community. Shield them in your protection and keep them safe. We are at a very difficult time in life. We need you more than ever today, Creator, to give us strength to survive the difficulties we face, to make the right choices, to take this fear that consistently comes upon us through you, our Creator. Creator, protect our elders and our youth. Look after our community members who are struggling with addiction, mental illness, homelessness, and domestic violence. I pray for healing, love, and peace in this world. May we be blessed with peace and continue to walk in beauty. Hojona Hashli, Hojona Hashli, Hojona Hashli, Hojona Hashli. Amen. Thank you. Thank you. We blaha agonet. Have a good day, everyone.